I was so impressed with the last bag pickles I tried that I decided to get 2 more. I got these 2 bags of Oh Snap pickles, Hottie Bites, and Sassy Bites. Snap out of the ordinary. We are passionate about making better-for-you plant-based snacks that are seriously delicious and super convenient. Should I start with Hottie or Sassy? Let's start with Sassy. They're sweet and spicy pickle snacking chips. Normally, I don't really like sweet pickles. I am not a sweet pickle person, but they do have their moments. Let's give these a go. I feel like Sassy is a good place to start because hot should come after. These aren't too sweet, and they have just the right amount of spice to counteract that sweetness. These are actually really good. They're crunchy, and like most bag pickles, they do have that squeaky element to them. And I don't like, oh, a nice design in this bag is, you can rip off 2 layers, so I don't have to struggle getting in there. I like these. As far as sweeter pickles go, they're not bad. One more. If you don't like sweet pickles, you might like these. Now let's try the Hottie Bites. I feel like they're probably going to be very similar in texture and crunch, so let's just see how hot they are. These aren't hot. I'm confused. I suppose they have a little bit of kick to them, but they're really not that much spicier than the Sassy Bites. They're just a little bit more vinegary and less sweet. More like a dill pickle. Again, that's a nice feature. Like that. Okay. Going back to that one now after the hot bite. I can see the difference in spice level a little bit. That one has more of a kickback, and that one's a little more up front. Overall, both of these are pretty good, and I think I'd rate them both at a 7. I really like the feature of the package where you can rip it down a little bit further. That's nice. I struggled with the other packages a little bit and spilled on myself. These would be great to take on a little picnic or just to grab if you want some pickles on the go. These seem like great pickles for sandwiches. No brine added. What if I wanted the brine? Whoops. There's still liquid in there. Whoa! Fuck. God damn it. The no brine added. And I still got pickle juice on me. I feel like I have opened myself up to the wide and wonderful world of pickles in a bag, which I judged a little harshly before. These are pretty good. Again, these were in the refrigerated section, so they have more of a crunchiness to them that you're going to get from bag pickles that are just laying around. Let's take a look at the ingredients. Cucumbers, water, sugar, vinegar, salt, calcium chloride. In another one of my pickle reviews, I covered what calcium chloride was and the various ways that it is made. Sodium benzoate to preserve freshness. Natural flavors, polysorbate 80, and turmeric for color. Sodium benzoate is a synthetically formulated water-soluble preservative. It is used to retain color and to inhibit the growth of mold and yeast. Sodium benzoate is created by reacting benzoic acid with sodium carbonate or sodium bicarbonate, soda ash, or baking soda, or sodium hydroxide, which is lye. It's a preservative that is used in cosmetics, medications, food, like pickles, salad dressings. You'll see it in tons of stuff. I've seen it in juice, which is a problem. I'm going to get to that in a second. Now, benzoic acid is naturally occurring in some fruits, berries like cranberries, spices like cloves, other foods, etc. Or sodium benzoate is made by oxidizing toluene, which is derived from crude oil, like petroleum. When I hear toluene, I immediately think of lacquers, paint thinners, solvents, adhesives, fingernail polish. I'm immediately transported outside the nail salon at the Greendale Mall. You know, that sort of sickeningly sweet lacquer, paint-like odor that makes you feel kind of dizzy and nauseous, but you also kind of like a little bit. for some reason. I know about toluene because I am an artist and I am kind of a nerd when it comes to paints. I also study chemistry for fun, just as a hobby. Because of this, I know toluene is toxic. It is terrible to inhale, and if you're exposed to it regularly without proper safety, it can cause a lot of pretty serious chronic health conditions. The FDA deems sodium benzoate as safe when consumed in small doses and moderation. According to the FDA, a concentration of about 0.1% of sodium benzoate is safe in food and beverages. It is important to note that these standards can vary depending on the product. And also this varies in other countries, so if you're not in the US, look it up. I don't know. The standard level of safe consumption of sodium benzoate is about 0 to 5 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. We're in America, we don't use a fucking metric system. What does that mean? So I'm about 110 pounds, give or take. Let's round that up to a nice even 50 kilograms. So on the high end of things, if, say, 5 times 50 would be 250. 250 milligrams of sodium benzoate a day would be considered safe for me to consume. I'm guessing that's probably about the amount in a liter of cola. It's important to note that when combined with ascorbic acid or vitamin C, sodium benzoate can produce benzene, which is a carcinogen and can cause cancer. It seems like kind of a problem that I've seen this in fruit juices and stuff, but I digress. As it goes with many things, overconsumption of sodium benzoate has been linked to a number of health conditions like, cancer, inflammation. It exacerbates some respiratory conditions like asthma, can be detrimental to liver and kidney function. I really could go on and on. Studies have also suggested that it could potentially exacerbate ADHD and hyperactivity in young children. My suspicion is it probably does the same thing with adults or something similar, maybe to a lesser degree, but by the time we grow up, we're so sick and tired that we are way too exhausted to be hyperactive. The problem is, most of this crap we consume, especially as Americans, contains this shit in larger doses than we might think. Although all these things are safe in moderation, compounded together and with the normalized American diet, I can see how things like this could cause somewhat of a problem, especially in sensitive individuals. Again, I always encourage you to do your own research. Don't take my word for it. What the fuck do I know? I'm just some bitch, right? And I'm not saying not to have the occasional soda or snack on a bag of pickles. In moderation, it's fine. But if you only drink soda and eat shit out of a bag or that you have to microwave, it might be time to reconsider some of your life choices. Or the normalized standards and practices of an often exploitative society that you have been subjected and conditioned into.